Welcome. I'm Suzanne and I'm the business lead for Stripe invoicing. In this session, we're going to talk about how businesses are using Stripe's billing, revenue, and tax tools to increase sales. If you're a founder, a CFO, or anyone that wants your company to earn more revenue, let's talk. Over the next 25 minutes, I'm going to cover Stripe's single system for your recurring and non-recurring billing, how it works seamlessly with payments, a few tools to grow revenue, and category leaders who have successfully leveraged these tools. I'm also going to talk about a few new products from Stripe: quotes, revenue recognition, and tax, plus some new features from invoicing and subscriptions. I was a founder before I joined Stripe and know firsthand how important billing and revenue tools are. That's why I was excited to help improve this experience for other founders. But it's not just startups that are struggling with these problems. Last year, Slack came to us with some seismic changes they were facing. First, they were signing even more enterprise-sized deals. A good thing, but this meant they needed to support global payments, apply proper taxes, and automate usage-based billing. Second, their business was going through explosive growth due to the pandemic. This meant they needed all of their engineers on deck to focus on their product and didn't have time or resources to work on building billing systems. To solve these problems, they chose Stripe invoicing and completed their initial launch in just 2 weeks. Stripe helped Slack get paid in 15 countries, get the data they needed without building custom queries, and keep their engineers 100% focused on Slack's product priorities. At Stripe, we're focused on helping fast-growing businesses, just like Slack, and like you. We're building new ways to unlock revenue growth, automate financial processes, and empower finance teams. Today, we're going to talk about 3 main pieces of that: subscriptions, billing automation, and tax. Let's start with subscription billing. It's no surprise that more businesses are discovering how attractive subscription models can be. Subscriptions make life a whole lot easier for customers. And for businesses, recurring revenue improves both sides of the lifetime value customer acquisition cost ratio. It reduces downside risk by making revenue more predictable, and it also lowers the cost to acquire those new customers. The past year has really accelerated this trend. For example, as consumers set up home gyms, they're buying both a mirror and a monthly membership plan attached. As they rely on on-demand food delivery, they're signing up for DoorDash's Dash Pass. And as businesses increasingly invest in team productivity, they're signing up for SaaS tools, like a few of my personal favorites: Atlassian, Notion, and Figma. Customers of all types now expect subscriptions from the brands they trust. And yet, for businesses, building and scaling a billing system hasn't gotten any easier. It's become more difficult. It's easy to misjudge the complexity of building your own billing software or underestimate the engineering costs to build and maintain it. I've talked to hundreds of companies that start out with a simple business model and billing system, and as they scaled, they were stuck with an inflexible, hard-coded solution that was close to breaking. I remember the pain of signing a big customer for my startup, only to find that our billing system couldn't support the contract terms and that manually processing the contract would take half my day. I remember the pain of needing to delay our product launch because our billing system wasn't going to be ready in time. I remember the pain of turning too many customers for solvable reasons like expired cards. This is why we built Stripe Billing. Revenue collection should be painless. We designed Stripe Billing from the ground up to be modular and flexible. This allows you to easily evolve your pricing and packaging, launch new business lines, and retain your customers and revenue. We're already helping hundreds of thousands of Stripe Billing users. We've grown to support a wide range of businesses managing the complexity of recurring subscriptions and payments with a single integration and unified view of data. Our customers look to us to help with payments and billing. This includes improving conversions and renewals, reducing churn, and testing new monetization models. Stripe integrates billing and payments in one stack, so we can help our customers optimize both. Now let's talk about one area where Stripe can really help: churn. Nearly a quarter of billing churn is involuntary, usually caused by missed payments or declined cards. We've built tools for touchless customer retention that are especially useful for subscription customers. Our Smart Retries feature uses machine learning to retry failed payments at the exact times they're more likely to succeed. This solution leverages millions of data signals from the Stripe network. We've tested and found that businesses using Stripe Smart Retries recover 14% more revenue than those retrying failed payments on a manual schedule. We've also built better tools to update saved card details if they expire. Noom implemented Stripe payments and billing and saw an 8% improvement. That's $10 million in their total revenue over a 12-month period. Postmates use our revenue recovery tools to automatically update saved card details, adding $70 million of additional revenue over the past 12 months. Now, let's talk about some recent features we've added and where we're headed with Stripe billing. Over the last year, we've added a ton more flexibility and can support the most complex billing models. For example, subscription scheduling lets you start, upgrade, or downgrade a subscription on a future date or even backdate a subscription. We're also helping you get up and running faster with pre-built billing components like the customer portal. This is a secure Stripe-hosted page that lets your customers manage their subscriptions, plan details, and payments. We're working on building even more ways for you to create great customer interfaces with less engineering investment. Now, if you've ever tried to share a price estimate with a customer before sending an invoice, you've probably discovered that using separate quoting software can be prone to errors, hard to track, and a drag on deal cycles. That's why we'll be launching Quotes to streamline sales workflows and ensure your quote matches what you're billing. Soon, you'll be able to create and manage quotes in the Stripe dashboard or by integrating the API into your sales system. The quote you send will exactly model the contract and billing you set up. All the terms, phases, discounts, start dates will automatically be converted to an invoice once accepted by your customer. This way, like magic, you can track the full lifecycle of a deal in Stripe, from the initial quote to the invoice to the payment and tracking. Said another way, your entire quote-to-cash cycle can now live on Stripe. We're also seeing an increasing number of platforms extend subscriptions to their users. Call it subscriptions as a service. Billing has been core to SaaS platforms from the beginning. And today, they're using Stripe Connect, our product for platform payments, to offer a full suite of subscription tools to their end merchants. This delivers a better user experience and makes their offering even more valuable. One example is Zillow. They're automating recurring rent transactions to help renters pay and landlords get paid. Stripe manages the recurring payment and money movement in a way that's set and forget seamless. As we look ahead at our subscriptions roadmap, we're focused on a few key areas. We're building tools in the Stripe dashboard to support the unique needs of customer success, customer operations, and finance teams. If your business is sales-driven, we're building in workflows like quotes, pre-billing, and flexible contract modeling. If your business is self-serve, we're making the integration experience easier and investing in no-code functionality to accelerate time to revenue. We're also expanding our revenue recovery tools to help you keep more revenue, reduce churn, and benefit from even stronger ROI. Now let's take a step back and look at these billing features in action. Kelly?
Absolutely, Suzanne. I'm Kelly, the product manager for Stripe Tax, but for the next few minutes, let's say I'm the founder of a company called Typographic. We sell software tools for creating unique fonts. We started out pretty simply with one product line, charging buyers a monthly fee for our software, and luckily, my CFO would handle all the accounting, tax, and any other bookkeeping requirements manually at the end of each month. As we've grown, well, so have my CFO's stress levels, so we decided we needed to invest in a few areas, starting with exploring additional revenue streams to create a more profitable business and automating our tax and financial operations. Let's check it out. Okay, our first goal is increasing revenue. While we started out with a pretty basic subscription plan, we've never tested out any other pricing models. Today, that changes. Initial research suggests that package pricing is a better way to convey the value of our software instead of an upfront fixed monthly fee. To do that with Stripe, I'm going to create a new product like I just did with a new price, which I can do right in the dashboard or of course via the API. I want to set up two different price points, one for entry level, which we'll call starter, and another that's a bit more expensive that we'll call pro. And looking at this page, I can see here I could also add discounts or trials, which gives me another idea for increasing revenue and saving time. Now, we've recently made our first sales hire to work with some of the large enterprise customers that have been expressing interest. However, these types of customers often want to negotiate, and we've been spending cycles trying to figure out how to automate these seemingly just for one customer billing requests. Let's see how Stripe would solve this problem. We can start by creating a quote in the dashboard. The functionality I'm about to show you will be launching soon. Creating a quote is as simple as adding the customer's details right here like so, and attaching my Pro subscriptions plan from before. Then what I want to do is add a coupon for 30% off since they're a huge new customer and this is what is needed to win. I'm going to quickly create a new coupon for 30% off for a fixed, but I could easily set a fixed amount, apply it only to certain products, set a user-facing promotion code, and more. All right, let's save that. With our coupon created, we can get right back to our quote, picking up where we left off. And we'll go ahead and add that coupon that we just made. It appears right there. And I'm also going to add a trial period for 2 months because, well, I'm in a good mood today. But I'm going to add an expiration date for 1 month from now to close the deal, as I don't want to be offering this forever. I don't have the customer's payment details yet, which if I did, I could charge them immediately. So we'll send them an invoice. We'll preview this to take a look at it. And all right, all our details are there. Let's send this over to the customer. And hey, let's say the customer accepts immediately, obviously incentivized by our great deal. So we'll convert this quote right into a subscription. And that's done. My new enterprise customer will now be billed after the trial expires at their discounted rate of 30%. In the future, if I want to try out new pricing models, I can easily change subscriptions, add trials, discounts, and more. I can combine one-time purchases and recurring purchases in one, so it's simple to expand my product catalog. All the components I need are built into Stripe, so I can really focus on growing my business and not worry about having to build any of this logic myself. And now, Suzanne, I want to hand it back to you to talk about how I can manage all that new revenue coming in.
Thanks, Kelly. It's great to see how Stripe helps with flexible subscriptions, linking an initial quote to an invoice all the way to payment. Now, we love hearing from our users how much revenue we're helping them generate. But our second favorite thing is to hear about how much easier it is to manage that revenue. One recent example is Atlassian. They chose Stripe because they could save time and grow faster with Stripe billing and revenue tools. I was a founder before Stripe and remember the hours I spent managing our revenue. My startup was built on Stripe billing when it first launched, and it saved an enormous amount of engineering time to get our own self-serve SaaS product up and running. However, when we started growing and selling to enterprise customers who wanted custom options, we were doing each deal manually, and it quickly became unruly. I spent hours chasing down invoices, reconciling receivables in spreadsheets, and trying to understand why payments failed. We were relying on disjointed systems for customers' billing, payments, and financials. Just look at my sad desktop. We ultimately didn't have a unified end-to-end view of our revenue to make better decisions. When I moved to larger, more established companies, I assumed they would have the resources to build and buy the best. But even at scale, many large companies still lack a unified view of revenue with actionable insights. Instead, resources are poured into maintaining the status quo and keeping hard-coded systems bolted together and running. Our customers want something better. Stripe gives you a unified ledger that includes your customers' products, pricing, and payments. This allows you to view your key metrics and financials all in one place. Let's talk about one example of how integrated billing and payments can help your business grow. Invoicing. We built invoicing support back in 2018 to make it easy to include an invoice with a subscription. As we spoke to more users over the last 2 years, it became clear that many businesses require sophisticated invoicing functionality. Now, invoicing can be simple when you have a few customers, but becomes much more complex and critical for your business when you have hundreds or thousands. For each invoice you send, you'll likely need to send reminders and track payments, as well as reconcile paid invoices with your bank statements. If you want to optimize revenue, you may accept card payments for customer convenience, but automatically switch to bank transfers for larger invoice amounts. Once you start sending invoices globally, you have to consider e-invoicing regulations, reporting obligations, and international payment methods. We want to help businesses operate effectively and scale faster to a global customer base by assisting with the humble invoice. This year, we added significant functionality to invoicing. We recently rolled out a redesigned invoice editor with real-time previews, custom PDF email attachments, wire and bank transfer payment methods, and support for multiple currencies. We've improved our secure Stripe-hosted invoice page to collect payments with the most convenient payment methods for your customers. Next, we're building flexible support for partial payments and ACH debit. For anyone, including you, developers, who don't want to write code to get paid, this is your moment. You can create invoices in seconds right in the Stripe dashboard or programmatically with our invoicing API. Most of our invoices are paid within 3 days. We're building the best invoicing solution for internet businesses of every size, from solo entrepreneurs to large public companies. Today, invoicing is used by more than 50,000 businesses to create and send custom invoices. And we're not done. Looking ahead at our invoicing roadmap, we're investing in many new products and features. First, we're making it easier for B2B companies to integrate with Stripe without writing a line of code. Second, we're working to make moving money between Stripe businesses as easy as moving data in the cloud. Third, we're building both accounts receivable and accounts payable tools to help automate and optimize collections, giving you a complete picture of your money in and out. Last, we're building for the unique invoicing requirements that you'll encounter as you expand to different global markets. There is much more to come with invoicing, so you can spend less time managing workflows and get paid even faster. Now, what about after you get paid? How much revenue did you actually book and when? Most businesses, especially those with inventory, need to recognize when revenue has been earned according to accrual-based accounting rules. Stripe merchants can spend 200 to 300 hours a month making their books compliant with accrual accounting rules. It's usually a cruel, manual, error-prone grind, and for many, it's still done in Excel. We've automated this process completely and made auditable and traceable revenue recognition reports. Over the coming weeks, we'll make revenue recognition available to all Stripe users in the dashboard with the click of a button. You can get a full picture of your financial health, including payments that happen outside of Stripe with data imports. And you'll be able to create custom recognition rules and export journal entries with our API. Stripe Sigma's custom reporting has helped many of you make better decisions by understanding all your Stripe data, from your customers to your financials. To ensure you have the latest information, data in Sigma is refreshed every 12 hours. By the end of this year, it will be refreshed every hour. We've also added new data types like issuing transactions and payment reviews. Plus, we just shipped new Sigma schema docs so you can more easily find the information you need. Order My Gear uses Sigma to analyze their Stripe data and run their business. Sigma is helping product leads, finance and operations teams, and data scientists across a growing range of businesses. To make finding data faster and easier, we're building a search API to help you write your own automation to look up objects in your Stripe data. You can search on fields like charge amount, customer email, last 4 digits of a credit card, and information stored as metadata. With the Search API, you can fetch real-time data, and you don't need to maintain any of your own data mapping or storage. Finally, we're building out integrations and connections to ERP and CRM systems that are so critical to helping businesses run smoothly. Speaking of what's needed to help a business run its financial operations smoothly, let's talk about taxes, specifically sales tax, VAT, and GST. Kelly, over to you.
Thanks, Suzanne. So first of all, I'm not here to give tax advice, but if you use Stripe, you should be thinking about collecting taxes. The rules are different everywhere, and unfortunately, startups and small businesses are subject to the same tax rules and regulations as large enterprises. A whopping 72% of online businesses see compliance as a barrier to international growth, and over 80% of startups on Stripe are already selling into 20 or more states or countries and are really struggling with this problem. And just staying in compliance gets harder every year. In 2021, the US will make 400 changes to sales tax rates, and at least 25 countries will change their VAT rates. Worries about tax often mean businesses limit where they sell to or dedicate significant engineering and accounting resources to the problem. For years, our customers, you all, have asked for help and even asked us to take over your work managing sales tax and VAT. So that's why we were incredibly excited to introduce Stripe Tax last week. Stripe Tax lets you calculate and collect sales tax, VAT, and GST globally with just one line of code in your checkout or billing integration, or the click of a button in your subscription or invoice. You can calculate and collect exactly the right amount of tax on your Stripe payments. It's as easy as telling us where you are and what you're selling, and Stripe Tax does the rest. Stripe Tax also analyzes how much transaction volume you've processed, surfacing potential obligations in states or countries where you may need to register to collect tax. Stripe Tax also helps you automatically calculate and collect the right rate. And of course, it gives you all the reporting you need, including both itemized and summarized exports to help make filing simpler. Tax is another area where a native integration with payments just makes more sense. There are clear benefits like speed, simplicity, and less technical maintenance. You end up with a single integration or even a single API call to calculate tax and complete the payment without needing to invest in the maintenance of third-party services. That means instead of integrating many different systems and doing up to 11 separate API calls just to display the right tax rate and complete the transaction, you're doing just one. And we've really fine-tuned the user experience. Stripe can gather and confirm buyer location data using billing address or even IP addresses so that your checkout stays fast and low friction. And for European buyers, we'll validate the VAT ID number and apply reverse charge or zero VAT rate as needed. With our recent acquisition of TaxJar, we're adding amazing experts to our team that are just as excited about taxes as we are. TaxJar is trusted by over 20,000 customers, and they've built capabilities from automated tax filing and remittance to a world-class tax rules engine, all of which will accelerate the build-out of Stripe's overall tax platform. With TaxJar, we're even closer to our goal of abstracting away all the complexity of tax for our users. And now, let's show you how Stripe Tax works. As a reminder, I'm a founder of Typographic, and I'm investing in growing my business, but I need to make sure I'm growing my business in the right way. We need to tackle tax as I've heard about audits and penalties, and I'd rather get it sorted while we're still small. My business is currently registered to collect tax in Europe and the United Kingdom, as well. Our tax advisor told us we had to be, but I'm pretty sure I should be collecting tax in the US as well. Either way, we want to start charging tax for our customers anywhere we have tax obligations. Lucky for me, I saw Stripe Tax launch last week, which automates tax calculation and provides reporting to help with filing and remittance. But come on, how easy can tax actually be? I've heard horror stories from fellow founders. You can activate Stripe Tax in the dashboard in just 3 easy steps and in 2 minutes or less. I start by setting my origin address to Ireland, which is where I'm based, or where I would be shipping goods from. Next, I'll set my default tax code. There's a few I can choose from digital goods to physical goods and services, but we'll go for software as a service since that's what my tax advisor, advised. Last step, let's add we are registered to collect tax. Having sold over 10,000 euro in cross-border sales within the EU, we're registered for VAT loss. As mentioned earlier, we're also selling into the UK, but adding new countries to collect tax in is as simple as a few clicks just like this. And oh look, I also see an obligation in Washington we didn't know we had based on my past transactions. I'll register right after this and schedule Stripe Tax to start collecting tax in July. All right, and it looks like Stripe Tax is showing me that I'm getting close to exceeding a few thresholds in a few other states and countries. This will be great for monitoring as we double down on our revenue efforts to make sure we stay compliant. All right, with Stripe Tax all set up, let's go update the product and prices that we created earlier. I'll go ahead and start by setting the same tax code as before. And then I will also set a tax behavior, which tells Stripe whether tax should be included in the price that I'm setting, but does mean your revenue may vary depending on your buyer's location, or exclusive pricing, where tax is always added on top of the price, ensuring you always know your revenue. All right, we'll go with exclusive and we'll save. And with our product and prices updated, let's add tax to the subscription for my favorite enterprise customer, which we can do by finding the subscription, clicking into edit like so. And then with a click of a button, boom, tax was calculated. And that was it. Stripe Tax will now automatically calculate tax for this subscription upon the next invoice finalization and handle any issues with prorations too. I could easily use the dashboard to update existing customers to start charging tax, but it's just as easy to use the API. Well, Stripe fans, my time moonlighting as a founder for this talk is coming to a close, but I hope I've showed you how easy it is for a business to use Stripe to increase revenue by adding new pricing models, streamlining financials, and tackling tax obligations. We hope these new tools will give you back valuable time and who knows, maybe even reduce your stress levels too. Back to you, Suzanne.
Thanks, Kelly. Stripe Tax looks great. Let's recap what we covered today. First, companies are increasingly looking to create new models and add lines of business with subscriptions revenue. Second, they're looking for more billing automation, better insights, and faster payments. And third, they're looking to get tax compliant with the click of a button. They're turning to Stripe's unified platform to do all of this. Businesses want to get more when they unify payments and billing and bring together their customer contract payment and data into one place. It's a really exciting time to be building a business on Stripe. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. Many of you have already shared feedback with us, and we're so grateful for it. If you can't already tell, your feedback is crucial to driving our product development. So please reach out, and we hope to see you at our office hours. Thank you.